Hello guys. Welcome back to um talking in 5 to 20 minute talks in my car, episode 2. Um and tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about resentment and um maybe pin up feelings towards somebody, whether that be a family member, somebody rubbed you the wrong way, an old significant other, um, maybe a friend that bothered you, and I'm going to talk about um, the circumstances in my life where I applied specific actions to um, feel better about it, and that doesn't mean it went away, but that means you know I'm able to take a place of comfort um, with the fact that whatever issue I had is no longer affecting me at the moment. Um, and I'm going to talk about how I got there. So you might be upset with whoever for doing X, Y, and Z. So and so said something that hurt me. So and so lied to me. So and so, God knows, you could be holding some baggage. And so, what I often find myself doing, and I'll draw back from an analogy that I made in my last video, is you got to let that rainwater settle. You gotta wait for that storm to pass so you can see the puddles. And I think the most important thing to do is to acknowledge the damage that is done, first and foremost, rather than make excuses for them or pretend like it didn't hurt you or it didn't affect you. You got to see the size of that puddle. You got to see the amount of damage, whoever it may be had afflicted. And the next step is to realize 99% of the time, whether they knew that was going to happen or not, that person, their goal was not just to hurt you. Like, that's just not the case. Everybody in life will eventually do what they truly believe is best for themselves. And whether it actually is or not, whether you know what's best for them or not, isn't really relevant, because you can't force somebody to do something. You can't force somebody to feel a certain way. So, like, establishing with the assumption that people are generally good, which I like to live by that. They didn't set out to hurt you or to damage you. That doesn't change the fact that it happened. And you could make excuses for the way that you feel. You could say, well, they wouldn't have done this if it wasn't to hurt me. They wouldn't have said that. And if you're one of those people, like I am, you need to think, what have I done out of anger in my life? What have I rebutted to whoever about whatever? And you need to apply that, because nobody likes to hear that they hurt you. Fucking nobody. I don't care who it is. Nobody likes to know, you know? And nobody likes to talk about it. It's a big elephant in the room always. Nobody wants to outwardly say, not only like nobody wants to outwardly say you damaged me, as to nobody wants to outwardly hear that they damaged you, and it's this really weird, confusing situation that you'll get into if you're still on speaking terms with them. But it's healthy and it's necessary, because you've really got to communicate, like, I really didn't like that and this is why. And whether the fact that it hurt, whether it should have hurt you or not, doesn't matter. I think what matters the most is that you communicate it and you understand why and how. So all of that being established, what I've done in my experience is I communicate, let them know, or let whoever in my life know, damn, this hurt me. Like, this sucks. Okay? Step 2 is think about, like, is it still relevant to you? Like, is this still affecting me in my life day to day? Am I going to lose sleep from this? And if so, am I ever going to be sleeping again? Am I ever going to be able to eat again? Am I ever going to be able to, you know, shower? And generally speaking, you're always going to have the option to do those things. Like your basic human functions will still be met. So focus on that for a minute. Get your brain out of the emotional fight or flight state. And it's all right to feel disrespected as long as you keep your feelings kind of collected. So you could think, you could establish, like, I'm going to see tomorrow. I'm going to wake up. Like, that's just going to happen. These problems are still going to be there. But it's not going to happen again. Like, this person isn't just going to come knocking on my door and saying, hey, guess what I did? You know? And it's a silly way to put that. I know. And it's kind of a jumbled sense of chaos as I like to put things out the way I do. But what I'm trying to say is you really just need to focus on the moment. You need to be right here, right now. For instance, like I've always got shit going on in my head. I'm always upset about something that happened years ago or last month, or I'm upset about things that I think will happen. You know, like I've had dreams where people have wronged me and I've been pissed at them in the morning. And I know some of you probably feel that way too. And it's weird to have that feeling of disgust and like angst towards somebody. It's weird for me, at least. I don't like being angry at people. I don't like holding resentment. And it's why I try daily to let it go. And I try daily to think I could just start again, you know? And yeah, I put a lot of time into that. Like, yeah, I gave them my trust. I gave them my limited edition Lego set, you know, just some fucking anything. But it doesn't mean you can't go get another, you know? It doesn't mean you can't go find another person to be friends with, to date. It doesn't mean you can't find somebody else to trust. It doesn't mean you can't find somebody else to confide in. So you can take what you learned from that person and acknowledge the bad. And I think the biggest step here is to acknowledge the good. Because you can't only remember that person for the bad things. You can't only remember the amount of distrust. You can only remember the amount of tallies kept. You should remember the good times always with everybody, alongside the bad, but almost above the bad, if that makes sense. Because there are lessons that I've learned from every bad experience I've had with a person, and all of them important. You know, whether it to be give out your trust sparingly, or more generously, whether it be to stand up for yourself in more situations, or to communicate more thoroughly. What matters is that you had a period of time with somebody. It went good until it didn't. And whether it kept going bad or not, doesn't matter. If it's still going bad right now, assess it, fix it, and then learn to drop it. So that being said, I think the key, Josh's patented key to drop this feeling of ugly resentment, is just every day wake up, and every time you think of something bad, force yourself to think of something good, some good memory. And if you can't think of any, change the subject in your mind. If you can't do that, then pick up a guitar, man. Like that's my best advice there. Pick up a keyboard, pick up a paintbrush, pick up a pen, write it down. Write down all of your thoughts and burn it. Just do what you need to until you can finally think it through and then drop it. And that's the best I got for you there. I'm 21 years young, and by no means am I the brightest crayon in the box. But damn it, I try. And you guys should too. So along with this little lesson of resentment, lesson I'll call it, like I know what I'm talking about. like for y'all, whoever, to leave in the comments some good news, or maybe share a memory with somebody that you don't speak to anymore, somebody you don't care for. You could be like, well, me and you don't even need to say a name. You don't even need to say who they were in your life. You could say, me and a person did this once, and that was fun. And it doesn't matter if you still talk to them. It doesn't matter if you miss them or not. None of that matters. All you got to do is acknowledge the good with the bad, and it'll cancel itself out. If you focus on one too much, you'll be blind to the other. And that's what I've learned, in my life, at least. So if any of this helped at all, leave a like. If you're just bored and wanting to bullshit with your buddy Josh, you probably got my Instagram. DM me, ask questions, and honestly, like, I would love to get some questions from whoever just to address in maybe the next video. So yeah, that was it. Thanks for sticking around with me for 5 to 20 minutes in my car.